My ex-wife's new boyfriend says I'm financially abusing her because I stopped paying her bills once he moved in, even though she agreed to put that money into our kids' accounts instead, and some of our friends are on his side. Posted by u/revolutionary170. My ex and I split up about 3 years ago. No bad feelings, we just drifted apart until we realized that we were now co-parents, not husband and wife anymore. We have 2 kids, 13 and 10. My ex used to work as an infrastructure engineer, and I was working as an owner-driver with my own truck. Around the time the kids were born, we decided she was going to be a stay-at-home mom. The trucking was going well, and I had bought a second truck and a van, so I stayed home doing all the planning and admin while I had the trucks and van out. When the youngest started school, my ex went back to work part-time, but her time out of the workforce had hit her really hard. She needed to learn lots of new things, and she basically couldn't get back in at her previous level, so she had to pretty much start over. Over the years, the haulage firm had expanded, and frankly, it was getting to be a bit of a pain in the arse. We were too big for where we were and needed to move to a new yard, so I sold it off for a reasonable sum and set up freelancing as a developer. I did computer science at uni. We both had relatives pass away, leaving us property and money, so we were mortgage-free on the family home. When we split, I moved into a house that I had inherited. We basically split the assets in half and split the costs of the kids' activities in half. When we were sitting down looking at the money, she concluded that she would need to go back to work full-time, which would mean missing time with the kids, as they were with me the 3 days she was at work and every other weekend. I felt a bit bad about that, because if she hadn't been out of work for so long, she would be in a better place career-wise. So I offered to cover half of her bills until the kids went off to uni. She didn't want to at first, but I told her that she had helped me out and had now suffered as a result, so it was only fair that I returned the favor. It was helping my kids out, and I didn't want her to be running down the savings that were essentially the kids' inheritance. This situation has worked out about as well as it can. We co-parent happily, and everything is good. Until she met a new guy. He's someone we knew from way back, but we lost touch with him. They started dating, she's really happy, and she's talking about him moving in. I'm fine with that, the kids get on with him, and I trust her judgment. I know she wouldn't put anything ahead of the kids. So I said to her, if Lado is moving in, you won't need the money towards the bills, will you? She said no, she wouldn't, but she was thinking of putting it into the kids' accounts. Great idea, I said. I'll put some on their cards for pocket money and the rest in their savings. So that was what we agreed. But when the new chap found out, he went up the wall and accused me of being controlling and of financial abuse. A few of our friends have also said that he's got a point and that it looks like jealousy. So, am I the jerk here? Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Not the jerk. You and your ex have a long history of respecting and supporting each other, and you both put the kids' well-being first. You discussed and agreed that this change continues the mutual respect and support, as well as prioritizing the kids' well-being. Friends' opinions are to be ignored. You gave extra when you felt she needed it. She agrees that now she doesn't need it, and she never viewed it as something she was entitled to. You both want the money to be redirected to the kids. I'm searching high and low for a whiff of jealousy, but I smell nothing but mutual respect, reasonableness, and exemplary co-parenting. If the boyfriend is a decent chap, he will 1. Calm down, 2. Realize that he has no standing to insert his opinion and that he needs to respect and trust your ex's judgment and her decisions regarding her kids, and 3. See how wrong his judgment is. If he was counting on that extra money to subsidize his lifestyle, then your ex may want to rethink how great a guy he really is. Op adds context. Just to add context, and in the interest of fairness, my money has no bearing on whatever financial arrangement they have between themselves. There's no way my ex will let him live there and not contribute. Commenter 2. Info, I don't understand this arrangement. Is she living mortgage-free in a house that she owns? Does she work now?